right, everybody, welcome to Thursday's edition of Fraud Street. I'll do a recap of some of the things we're working on. I reached out to William to meet me in D.C. We'll hand out documentation to each office, uh, show you the office we knocked on, who we spoke to at the office, whether the representative is there or the senator. We have no idea. We have to wait for them to get back into D.C., so we got another few days before that happens after the holiday here. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, my daughter calls, I got to run. So she just called me and I had to do something. Let the dogs in. So anyway, we're going to go to D.C. I spoke with William. We're going to videotape and stream every one of their offices, as many as we knock on. I'll provide the documentation. I'll print it out, and we'll hand it out, and also get the truck in front of the SEC. Our short sellers love to be brag about how good they are. We're going to show everybody in D.C. who they are and follow the sell tickets, all their transactions, not single motion. We want to see their patterns. Obviously, they do very well by selling stock and not delivering it, so we want to see it. We want to know their connection to their brokers. We want to see everything, their sell tickets, their wires, and eventually, if they do have a problem, they're going to get charged with RICO because obviously you can't just keep stealing from people, right? So those are two of the things that I have planned coming up the truck and physically going down to D.C. and take care of that. I'm going out west for business. I leave on Monday. I'll be back on Sunday. I'll be in Las Vegas, and then I have to drive to L.A. for business meetings out there. Hopefully I can get to a Dodger game when I'm there. So that's what I'm doing next week. But, again, I'll always be working. All right, so let's walk through some of the nonsense here today. The market's down, obviously. Not everything's going well, all right? But it's so funny that when the market starts to turn, they always have a stocks that they want to turn up. And today they turned up Goldman Sachs. It was down to 831, down 30 points, and now it's back up to 860. So they have to find a market leader to turn it. These are the companies, Jefferies, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America. These guys all create this mess. All the financial engineering is created by these big brokers. And it's so funny that they always get saved. Everyone else is getting punished. NRGV has nothing but insider buying. Why is that stock down 8 cents? Who's selling that one? Every one of these companies has been dumping stock. These guys are buying it. The CEO's buying it, yet they continue to hold this stock down. It pops up a nickel, it pushes it back down. It's the first one always to go down. Has great earnings, building their business, fully funded, and it's always going down. That's just a sign of manipulation and fraud. The second one is that QNTM. Yesterday they came out with a lawsuit, and they're proceeding into discovery to get the information on a $700 million lawsuit against CIBC, whoever else all the other parties are. I can't remember. Stock popped to 6 something, and they came in and attacked it down. Who's selling it? Where the CEO said he's going to give out a percentage of the proceeds of that lawsuit. I got it. If you pay 3 and you want to flip it, I got it. But there wasn't that much volume down at the bottom. So what are these people doing? That's good news. Oh, good news means hurry up and sell it as fast as you can lower. That's what it means on Wall Street. NRGV, nothing but good news, sell it down. Finger Motion gets a division for $60 million in revenue, sell it down. And these stocks don't even get a chance to go up. And the same pattern happened to Donald Trump when he announced his fusion technology deal. I had a couple of people bail out on that one when it got to 15, 16, and they bailed out, and the stock's now 9. No matter what you say, no matter who you are, that's the same pattern. They need you to come out. GDC is priced at Bitcoin 23,000. Bitcoin's at 67. I just got this crazy feeling that, I don't know Bitcoin. I know nothing about it. They get to 72, they push it down here. and then it digs in and it turns up again. I don't know who's manipulating it back and forth in the same range. But Elon Musk said that he's going to buy 8,000 coins for his SpaceX IPO to have them. 8,000. Pretty big position for a $1 trillion company, right? Big. GDC's got 7,500. They're on the same level as SpaceX. You guys don't understand how massive that position is. I don't understand who's willing to sit there. They traded at 301 or for 100 shares lower. You remember, they're only selling 100 shares. It's $300 worth of stock. Just trying to hold it down below 3. They keep trying. They keep doing it. But the value of the money, it's there. Bitcoin is cash. And this thing, once they start selling the Bitcoin and buying back the stock, now when Bitcoin goes up, the stock is going to tail along with it. I look at it that they should just start selling some coins and start to commence the buyback. Because if the Bitcoin moves up, the stock will move up. You got an opportunity to pick off and buy some $3 stock back. You can buy a lot more shares at 3 than you have to do at 10. So use some of that funds to scoop up the cheap shares as these guys keep laying into it. That's my opinion of it. I don't work for the company. I don't work for the company, but I can take care of that in a second. Just give me a few bucks. I'll scoop up as many shares here as possible and GDC, and that's how you torture the shorts. Because remember, if they buy a fake share, it cannot be retired. It has to be a real share. So the brokerage firms, when they do buy it, have to submit the shares to the transfer agent who will retire the share. Can't retire an IOU. So that one is, the money's there, it's in play, they can't do anything about it. Unless Bitcoin goes to 0, this stock is going to be a winner. NRGV, energy storage, you know it's going to work, just a matter of when. The insiders are telling us right there. All right? HLP, I have no fucking clue of the washing going on. There was a big trade yesterday. It got up again today. And it's all in the same spot. It can only be they're looking for to wash or get some more settlement time on their naked shorted shares. We said there was 26 million. Obviously, there's a problem. You can see them. People just don't go out there and, hey, listen, you know what? Go home today, everybody. Go in your drawer. Take out your clean clothes and throw them in the washing machine. No one washes things when they're clean already. They're washing this thing because it's dirty and they need to get more settlement time. All right? That's the only thing that's going on here. The SEC is brain dead. They can't see this. Everybody, if you can't see these type of transactions, they happen in finger motion. They happen in every... Christian Shaughnessy puts up every day all the wash transactions every day. Companies with 1 million shares in the flow, trading 80 million shares in a couple of hours. It's just all nonsense. There's all this liquidity stuff the SEC wants, but when it comes to Berkshire Hathaway Class A, it's traded 93 shares today, and it's $715,000. If they were to put options on that stock, if you think Bitcoin is moving up and down, wait to see what they would do here. This thing will be up and down 100,000 a day. And it's just a game by hedge funds to try to make some money to pump up their returns. Those are the people playing these high volatile stocks because they have to get returns. You got to have balls of steel to trade MicroStrategy. It's up and down 10 points, or Goldman Sachs or Costco, whatever the hell it is. These things, day trading those things, you're either going to make it or get killed. And hedge funds that need to get returns play those games. Retail investors, you get smoked. You got to stay away from those things. All right, so again, I told you we're doing it finger motion. I pitched a bunch of people. They should start buying it shortly. And, I'm going to D.C., and we'll take care of that. I don't understand Trump. All he has to do is put out a sign. It's bail before jail, so you better not fail. Catch one. Just lock up one naked short seller, and you watch how fast it ends. The prime brokers, the stock loan departments, they're all fraudulent. If anybody wants to go ask Johnny Tobacco, Pat Byrne always says it's just a group of guys from Staten Island, named Vinny and Tony, and It's a gang of people in the back. They're all the same people. You know, we heard many years ago, Bondi just got fired. Good. How do you not arrest anybody? They walk in there, just lock them up. I don't get it. People stealing money, they should be locked up. Their website, Zero Hedge. Hold on a second. She got ousted. Well, now that you know they want these people locked up, so it's about time. You know, listen, I'm not a political guy, but if you disrupted the country and made false statements, lock them up. That's it. And these Somalians, lock them up, take their money, hang them upside down. I wouldn't send them back to Somalia. I would put them in a nice penitentiary in the U.S., let them suffer, because obviously if you throw them out of the country, the ones that stole the money, their money's waiting for them someplace else. I don't know how they haven't run out of the country yet. Any update with Finger and the crypto deal? That is, we introduced them, and that goes to insider trading at this point. I can't ask for that information. People that work for companies, you know, they sign an NDA. They have to, you know, they're not going to call me up and say, hey, we're going to do it on Tuesday. Can you run in front of it, buy the stock? No, I don't do that stuff. All right, so again, if I hear it, if I can say something, I would tell you, but I'm not actively digging up anything. The game's in play. Listen, on the corporate side, it moves slow. On the naked short selling side, for all those who are brain dead, they just hit a sell button. They can wake up in the morning, hit a sell button, 4:30, hit a sell button, wash trades, anything. Corporate, you have to fly around, you have to go to meetings, you have to get lawyers involved, you have to get approval, you have to do filings. An attorney called me up this morning, and he told me to look at everyone's financial statements. And in the filings, you always see the companies put up how many shares they have outstanding. Because a lot of people always say, oh, there's more shares, or this is outstanding, whatever it may be. If a company puts up a statement, let's say they got 10 million shares outstanding, or in the float, or whatever you want to say, and they just put in their financials, oh, there's only 8 million or 7 million, and change the number or reduce it, they go to jail for not giving accurate information. On those statements, there should be a number which is the number of fails to deliver, so that investors, like everyone on this call, can make a decision. Hey, why am I going to buy Finger Motion? It has 500 million shares of fails to deliver. Or maybe I want to buy it because when they do cover, it's going to go through the roof. That is making it transparent, and we can actually see it as investors. The SEC makes the company put out their information, but the other side is completely dark. And I don't know about you, but the attorney told me that that's something we should stick a stick in their wound, because they need to get that information out there. We need to see that information. When you're hiding it, you know that the crooks are living there. Pat Byrne always said, shine a light on the cockroaches, they'll run away. All right, that's all we need to do is shine the light. Trump is always, they're looking for all the fraud. Listen, healthcare stuff, all these states, they're not doing the right thing. All right. They'll start locking these guys up. You could say Nick Shirley said they're starting to run away already. Nick Shirley, 23 years old, is the leader of our new Department of Justice, or FBI, right here. He's doing more than anybody else. I don't understand it. People in D.C., they let people get robbed. Why doesn't Martin send everyone a snapshot of their statements? Yeah, I'm going to call the CEO up and say, hey, the shareholders want you to do this, that, and the other thing. People, CEOs are afraid of their own shadows here. The SEC is like the Gestapo to the Jews. So if you're a Jew out here, think of the SEC as the Gestapo. They run around and they just put the people in jail or concentration camps. You want me to speak like that? That's what it's about. The SEC are scumbags. They attack people that can't fight back. That's what they do. So having a company, if you think a CEO is going to go out of his way, making $150,000, sit here and bang a drum, okay, and go and be attacked by the SEC. They did it to Elon Musk. They do it to everybody. That's why all the CEOs shut their mouths, because they're all afraid they get attacked by the government. You can't say this stuff. You can't do that. Meanwhile, guys like Hal Mintz, Lynn Partners, these guys run around and they're just laughing all the way to the bank. Hal Mintz got rewarded with a $10 million condo, and how many millions he must have stolen. So if you got a gripe with a company, go take it up yourself. I'm not representing anybody here. If a company can't move fast, they can't move fast. Get over it already. They can't. It's impossible. People that can move fast is the guy from GME, GameStop, Brian Cohen. He's got $9 billion. He moves like a fucking snail. Why don't somebody go break his balls? He's got $9 billion. All these other companies are fighting for their life, taking meetings in dark alleys, trying to make things happen. And you guys want them to move faster. Can they sit here and stop and send everybody a statement? No. Why would you even ask him that? It's idiotic. Please, with the stupid questions. Tell the CEO this, tell the CEO that. If I was the CEO of Finger Motion, you know what I say? Fuck you, I quit. I'm breaking my ass here. I just did a deal, got a $60 million in revenue. I fly around the globe, leave my family, make no money, never can sell stock, and yet you want me to do more. Go fuck yourself. That's what I would say. You're better off not doing anything. That's how I feel about that. He's a nice guy. Me and William had dinner with him. He's a nice guy. We saw him at the... this company was listed on the NASDAQ. It never had an update again. They had people flown in all over the world came in because they thought it was a major event. It was. It went straight down. It went from $9 straight down every day, listed on the NASDAQ. They rang the bell. Go look, there's videos of it. How it's a milestone to be listed on the NASDAQ. No, it wasn't. They were put into the guillotine and their heads were chopped off. And for those people who keep questioning the company, how would you like to get a job? And most people on this phone had a job. How would you like to go to a job at 32 years old, 33 years old? The company's been around 7 years now. Now you're 39, 40 years old. You got yourself some nice warrants, 100,000 warrants at $5. The stock was $9. You're sitting here. You want to work hard for the company. Now the stock's $1. Your warrants, you can stick them up your ass because they're worthless. Now you're 40 years old. How do you quit a job, go work someplace else, and start over again? Do you know how hard it is to change your career as you get older? I have people that are older that can't even get a job anymore because of their age. People that are 40 now have to contend with people that are 29 and 30 coming out of great schools trying to get the same jobs they're trying to get. It's not easy. So you give up your life, go and work for a company, and you get wiped out. It happens all the time. Think about the people, I keep talking about that Mullen, M-U-L-N, only because there were people working there, building cars, whatever he was doing, all wiped out. All those people left their jobs to go do this. Some probably made some money, some didn't. And I always tell the story about Mark Cuban. I met the people that worked for Broadcast.com when he sold it to Yahoo back in the day. Mark Cuban got all the money. Everyone else got sold to Yahoo and never got out. Yahoo went from 300 and crashed. And I met those people at Yahoo at the time when I was in San Francisco. So Mark Cuban got out. No one else did. All the people that worked with him at Broadcast.com got nothing. And they all hated him for it. Because I remember they asked me, how do we hedge? It was crashing at the time. And they all got stuck because they all got locked up. Mark Cuban was allowed to hedge or short his position or sell it. That's how it works. So the poor people who work at the company, these small CEOs, they're under attack all the time. Just look at the stupid questions I get. Oh, could you make them do this? Oh, yeah, sure. Hurry up and do that. Hurry up, go do a crypto coin. Hurry up, go get statements, count the longs, do this, do that. Take your kids to school, see your wife, worry about 70 or 80 employees, whatever the hell they have. Okay, go do all this stuff. Knock yourself out. No one ever says anything about stock settlement, because if they settle the trade, the stock could be hundreds of dollars. The company could raise billions of dollars, and they can hire people and do whatever they want. That's the reverse of this. And I know that position very well. Firing people, doing this stuff, it's awful. But Wall Street, the SEC, they just walk around like no one's even talking about this stuff. That's all I ever see. Wall Street creating chaos everywhere. And their stocks are all rewarded. Goldman Sachs is $860. Think about that. Goldman Sachs, $860. They make 75% of their money from stock loan. Pat Byrne put that up a long time ago. Stock loan, not from doing anything else. Stock loan. They make up their own numbers. It's unregulated. Ask Johnny Tobacco that. He'll tell you. That's what he did. He was stock loan. He never gave up his friends. Maybe he did to Pat Byrne. There was a family, the Palmieri family, a long time ago, that was in control of back offices or stock loan. Palmieri family. There's people at Smith Barney at the time. There's people at Morgan Stanley. The cousins at Goldman. The cousins here. They don't buy each other in. It's the same family. That's how that works. You can't buy in Goldman Sachs, because Goldman Sachs will tell you, and Merrill calls them up and says, I'm going to buy you in on something. They say, hey, you buy me in here, I'm going to buy you in on 10 other positions. And they all say, oh, okay, never mind. That's how it works. It's a good old boys club. Anyway, GDC, I talked about it. I talked about HLP. I have no clue what the volume is. I've been watching it. I see it. I don't understand it. NRGV, layup. GDC, layup. And finger motion, you know what it is. We got risk. There's always risk. The reward is there's 500 million shares to buy back plus the 1 million shares. The company does all the little things they're working on. You can try all you can, knock yourself out, call them up, tell them to move faster, tell them you're not happy. I do the opposite. I'm going to D.C. to the source of the people that are protecting the criminals. Beating the company up is a waste of my time. Going to fight that direction is the only thing we can do. I told you my opinion. If I was your CEO, I would tell you to take a walk and shut down all operations and tell everybody, I'm not doing any business until you settle the trades. That's what I would say. And if they got a beef with that, show me the settlement failures. Anybody wants to sue me? Let's get the government in here. Quantum, great news, stock goes down. Not great news, outstanding news. Stock went straight down. Went to 6.5, it's down to 4.25. I don't know who would sell it down here. I would take a shot on it down here if I was playing. Anyway, everybody, listen, have a great weekend. I think tomorrow only up a half a day, holiday, and we'll touch base over the weekend or Monday when I travel. All right, everybody, hang in there. Thank you.